Today we shall speak about the Festivus Report 2021. We are in 2022. What we will discuss is the way your Senate, your government, has misappropriated your funds, spent your money erroneously on stupid things like pigeons, high on cocaine. How clearly do they think? Should we spend $25 million on that? That is the question we'll ask today. Oh, why does this sit here with a green saber instead of red or orange, matching the furious passion that burns deep within? Because I killed a Jedi this day, and now I'm misusing his saber for my own dark intent. Much like your Congress people. Let us begin.
Is everyone officially scared? Terrified? That's right, you should be.
That's right, you should be.
Feel the fear.
Thank you. Thank you, Benjamin, for that epic opening. Okay, guys, we are starting out this year. We decided that we wanted to share Rand Paul's annual Festivus because when we were reading it, like we have in years past, it is some of the silliest nonsense that our federal government could be spending money on. And so when you're thinking about who you want to send to Congress later this year, you can ask yourself, do I want to continue to vote for the same party that is passing this kind of legislation?
Heinous legislation.
Do we want to keep going with the same thing, or do we want to try something new? I'm just saying you might want to consider it. Okay, so while we're doing this, guys, our speaker is... Oh, testing the speakers. Have a great show. The test is saying, have a great show. Oh, that was pretty good.
That was actually pretty dope.
That was pretty cute. So now the speaker is working.
Yes.
We know everything is going. Okay, we are so ridiculous. That was really funny watching myself. Libertarian Party of Lamoille County. Hello, Libertarian Party of Lamoille County. Thanks for joining us today. We're actually going to be going to the Libertarian Party of Texas 50-year celebration on Friday, so that'll be really exciting. Yeah. Lamoille County, is there a party? Are we having a party later? When do I get to come to the party? I'm ready. I'm just saying. I'm always ready to party. I don't know if that sounded good or not.
I don't know.
I can't tell what I should think about that. Oh, it's Olga. Hey, Olga. Hi. Even better.
Oh, wow, Olga.
Oh, this is gonna be good. So you're gonna enjoy this Festivus. It's from our good friend and representative Rand Paul.
Mm-hmm.
Well, he's not really our good friend, but like the American people's friend.
Yeah.
We'll say that.
Yes.
I actually really appreciate it. If you guys don't know, did Ron Paul start this, or has it always been Rand?
I have no idea.
I should have looked that up. So Rand Paul annually does this report, and he calls it the Festivus. and it really is. It's a list of some of the stupidest stuff that our federal government spends money on. And I remember one year, I don't know if it was a Festivus of his, but it was something. It was some report on how stupid the federal government is and what they spend their money on. And I remember learning there was one study where they studied the viscosity of ketchup. And I thought to myself,
yep.
It's
critical.
Why? Who cares? Who benefits from that?
Critical.
How much do you want to bet? It was some congressperson's kid was like in college for some science something or other. And they needed a grant to be funded for their
Oh.
doctorate or something. You can tell how much I know how science funding works. And they were like, we're going to write it. And here's $50 million for the Kennedy Center.
Probably.
Like that kind of stuff. Like, did you guys see what the federal government in that stimulus package, all that money that they printed, where that went? Like their best, their buds and their kids and their friends at the Kennedy Center and places like that.
That I don't care about when apparently we're in the middle of a pandemic.
Like
that's probably rude that I said that, and I'm sure the people who work there who, you have a job and it's important to you, but in the grand scheme of things, especially when many of our other jobs are deemed, what was it, not
critical,
non-essential.
Non-essential. So if we're not essential, I'm not sure why art is essential.
I think some of them even were like closed down during that period.
They were. The Kennedy Center, I'm pretty sure, was actually
Wow.
closed down. They weren't having concerts and stuff like that.
Wow.
So, and I'm saying that as an artist, somebody who values art, who's married to an artist who does art.
Yes.
But it's like if my business has to shut down and I whatever I do, but your buddies that
yes.
play things and make pretty things, they're essential.
I was working on a documentary that really peered into the lives of young squirrels and tadpoles, and it really delved into the existential angst that they experience in their teen and preteen years. And I had to shut that down during the pandemic. So if I have to stop creating my art, which I feel is incredibly essential to
very essential,
moving humankind forward into a new frontier, new future, I think that maybe everyone else should have had to deal with the same conflict.
That's what I'm saying. Libertarian Party of Lamoille County says, if it puts food on the table, it's essential. You darn right.
You dig?
You're darn tootin'. You doggone. I'm trying not to swear.
Yeah.
So you guys, in 2022, for those of you who know me, that know that I have the mouth of a sailor, it is really my goal to stop swearing so much. So if you have any good expressions or like cusses that aren't swears, right? Like, what is it Mom says? Piss pot piddlewinker.
I don't know what that means.
Is that a cuss if it's piss? Can I say that on YouTube?
No, I think it still works.
Lordy pants on fire.
I don't understand that one.
My mom is adorable, you guys. Growing up, she never swore. Really, I don't remember my mom ever swearing or really getting angry very often. And so if she stubbed her toe or whatever, she'd be like, "Oh, puddin' puss." Like her cusses were so cute.
Yes.
My mom is adorable.
Brian Wright says Paul has been skewering Fauci.
Oh, yeah, skewering. Yeah. Oh, but we can't say that, remember? Because if you criticize somebody, it means you're putting a hit out on them.
Oh, that's what it means?
Yeah. Yeah. So apparently, because people are criticizing Dr. Fauci, he's had like threats on his life and his family and stuff like that.
Weird, because I mean, there was this other guy who was a president not too long ago.
Mm-hmm.
I remember him getting a lot of critiques.
That's true. And his supporters.
I'm still hearing things about his supporters.
I thought that anybody who
not even his supporters, but people who just may have even voted for him. I'm seeing a lot of energy coming their way as well. Like even now.
Yeah.
I had discussions the other day about that.
It's so stupid.
It's wild.
It's so stupid. So you can punch it. So Trump supporters are Nazis and you're supposed to punch a Nazi.
Yeah.
Right. But that's not encouraging violence. Right.
Yes.
That's encouraging
violence. Incredible unity.
Dr. Fauci saying that, anybody who doesn't wear a mask and get vaccinated is unpatriotic and un-American and doesn't follow science and all that doesn't hurt anybody.
I mean, what's weird is all the anti-vaxxers that I saw when Trump was president and the copious amounts of vaccine hesitancy at that time, and how that's not okay, now
Yeah.
it's really weird.
Was it November 2nd? Everything changed. I
mean,
think
it was, I don't know, somewhere in
2020,
November.
sometime in November.
It was November.
Everybody went. We're probably gonna get removed off of YouTube
they're gonna
for this.
drop this one in like 15 seconds in. Freaking the power is gonna get shut out in this freaking house.
They're gonna swat us. We're gonna get swatted.
Yep. Just kick down the door. That's gonna happen. I think they tried to swat us last. Yeah, they tried to swat us yesterday.
So we were in bed, right? We were in bed, and all of a sudden there was like a flashlight in the window.
Yeah.
And we were like, so apparently some guy had gotten pulled over and punched a cop
right in the face
and ran away. And so they were on the search for him.
So there's
so they're searching in the backyard.
Certain parts of the nation that would be happy that he did that. We don't know what he got pulled over for or why. Doubt he may or may not have been, a hero. Who knows?
Who knows?
But
nobody knows.
He did apparently punch a cop in the face, and so I've got to get up and go talk to cops because they're waving lights in our door. So that was a fun time.
Brian said, "Let's make it clear. Don't read it. Don't read it."
Let's put a particular doctor in a how do you reword
in
it?
A place where you're not allowed to leave without permission.
You don't really have a lot of rights and freedoms.
We got to learn how like the quartering does it. So there's this
Dr. Faust for Get-Go. You guys can figure out.
Dr. Faust for Get-Go.
Yeah. Dr. Faust.
That was good. That was really good, baby. Yeah. That's gonna be like what is it called when you like switch the words, the letters
Anagram
around?
Or something like that?
No, it's Pig Latin.
Oh,
we'll make up our own language for conservatives.
Ouchie Faye for Itmoge.
Yeah, we should make up our own. That'll be funny. Okay, right. So let's see. So we're gonna get into the Festivus. We don't want to keep them going for too long. Can everybody see how creepy Benjamin's eyes are?
Do you feel the force?
So, in all sincerity, part of the reason why I'm really excited, he went and played a Sith Lord today.
Yes.
In a shoot, he was a bad guy. So technically, this should have been. Oops.
Yep.
This should have been the lightsaber he used.
Yes.
But it doesn't light up as well.
This is meant for daytime combat. It's not as good for nighttime illumination.
Yeah, we needed something a little brighter so we could turn the light off and make it a thing.
Deluminate. It's not as strong for this one.
How many Star Wars things have you been in now?
Maybe 6 or 7.
And that's you. And you took, for those of you, this is a for real thing. A guy here in Austin is a certified George Lucas Jedi instructor. Oh my God, you're so ridiculous. So Benjamin actually learned how to actually fight as a Sith warrior.
Yes.
Per certified George Lucas instructor.
Yes, destroyer of hopes and dreams. Yes.
Okay, Lillian says, yes, I was going to talk about his eyes. Aren't they? Doesn't it look cool? Yeah, we should get you a bunch of different colors and just like...
Just walk around with those?
Yeah. That'd be really fun.
And mess people up.
I want to get black ones.
Oof. I need it for a short anyways.
Black ones?
Black contacts. If you guys want to hook us up.
Yeah. So we need a contact lens sponsor.
Yeah, something like that.
Sponsor. So, hey, wait, speaking of sponsors, why don't we share about today's show's sponsor? So today's show sponsor is Lord and Lady Reddick.
Yes,
that's us. So we're at Two Majestic Creatures. We are actually sponsoring our show today with our book, Reasons to Trust the Government.
And this show is all about trusting the government today.
So we figure, we're going to share our sponsor, who also agrees with us that, really, this Festivus demonstrates that there are no reasons to trust the government. So keep that in mind when you check the preview, when you buy our book on Amazon for $9.99.
Yes.
Check the preview. Oh, we got to make sure there's a link in the description.
We'll make sure.
You know, why don't we'll add a thing. All right, guys. So we're going to play for you the commercial for our today's show sponsor.
Yeah, it's the most American sponsor you've ever seen in your lifetime.
The most American.
This book will give you wings.
What kind of wings?
Not like Icarus wings, like eagle's wings.
What about dragons?
You'll have dragon's blood. You'll be able to breathe fire.
Fire like the Ultra Eagle Dragon.
This book will make you smarter.
Yes.
I'm not just talking honor roll smart. I'm talking Nikola Tesla smart. You'll be so good looking, Brad Pitt will be jealous.
Do you want to make money?
How much money?
Elon Musk money.
That's a lot of money.
People will think you're Elon Musk, but you're not Elon Musk. But they'll think you're
Elon Musk, because you pay taxes like Elon Musk.
And you have to argue with Elizabeth Warren because she thinks you're Elon Musk. Do you want freedom?
How much freedom?
All the freedom. One to America. How much freedom do you want?
America.
Double America. Yeah.
Why is it muted?
Because I muted it.
Why did you mute it? You silly
I don't know.
goose.
I don't
It
understand
automatically
why.
mutes.
I was being careful.
It automatically mutes.
I care about the American people. So I was being careful that you didn't get a bunch of
You wanted
echoes.
the best possible experience of
Yes,
that
optimal,
epic commercial. Okay.
optimal viewing experience.
Optimal viewing experience. Daniel, can you hear us now? Daniel said can't hear you. Is that because it was muted? Because my husband's a silly goose.
I have no idea.
Can you hear me now?
Can
Christopher Aaron says, love the video. Thank you, Christopher Aaron. You know what? Actually, I should go get my mug. We also got mugs for sale that are really fun and silly. It's an image of the eagle.
Eagle of justice.
With me flying on the right. I'm in armor. It's a character with my face on it, riding an eagle in armor. It is absolutely absurd. And really, really fun. It's probably mine's probably in the dishwasher. Yeah. But in all seriousness, guys, if you like this programming, if you like this show, if you appreciate me bringing news and information from around the state and around the country, please go to Amazon.com, buy the book, buy some silliness, go to my subscribe star. I'll put all the links before it gets too long.
Mm-hmm.
So here's the mug, and it's the eagle with me riding the eagle. You totally can't see it.
That video is epic.
And then it says generally irritable on the mat. Colleen, you know what? I'll bring some to Vermont with me. And are you going to be at oh wait, hold on. Let me get back to let me do this to comments, and then are you going to get the links?
Yeah.
Okay. Where do you get the mugs? If you're going to be at any of the events in Vermont in the next month, let me know and I'll bring one. I'm charging $20. It's a lot for a stupid mug, but they cost a lot to get printed. So the more I can get, if we put up the store and stuff like that, then they can get drop shipped and all that stuff. So yes. What is there? There's a let's see, there is actually an activist and candidate training coming up on January 29th. I don't know if I'm allowed to share about it publicly, but apparently it's Ron Paul's campaign manager who's supposed to be running it. So if you guys are interested, if there's anyone interested, send me a direct message and I'll make sure that I can give you the link to go sign up. Because the person who invited me, I did not ask if I could share it around. Okay, so Benjamin's sharing the book link and yeah, okay, good. So perfect. 5 by 5. Brian, what's 5 by 5? Am I forgetting something we were talking about?
I have no idea.
5 times 5, 25. Is it code? Are you sending me code, Brian? I don't know what's happening. But you guys, everybody that's watching. So the next 2 weeks, so next Sunday and the Sunday after, I'm going to have city council candidates. So next week is going to be Alex Stith. He's running in Ward 7 for City Council Burlington. The week after that is going to be Christopher Aaron Felker, who is running for Ward 3 Burlington City Council. And apparently, I have not looked into it, but apparently even the likes of Max Tracy is not going to be running for re-election. You know why?
No.
Because the measly $3,000 that you get for a stipend for being a city councilor is not enough for the amount of work and effort that he has to put in.
Wow. So
I just have to say, Max Tracy, I am glad that you learned that lesson. I really this is not me being sarcastic. This is not me being a butthole, because we actually need Max Tracy's help with something. Shockingly enough, you guys, we need the progressives on city council to help us with our fight against the city of Burlington. That is really funny to say. But we have reached out to Max Tracy for help. So this is really me not trying to be a jerk right now. Really, Max, I am glad that you think that it is too little for the amount of effort that you guys are putting in, because you guys are putting in too much effort. There's way too many committees. There's too many commissions. The city of Burlington should stop trying to run everyone's life. Okay. So you need to stop deciding that you know how to run people's businesses. You need to stop deciding that you know how to run people's lives, and just leave people alone. So I think, from what I understand, Zariah Hightower isn't running for re-election either. I think, oh my God, another young lady, the blonde young lady whose name is totally escaping me right now. I'm so sorry. I'm not trying to be rude. I'm just totally having a brain fart. So yeah, so we don't want to bury the lead. We don't want to bury the lead, right? That's what they say.
I've heard them say that.
That's what they say. So we'll talk about the Festivus. We got to chit chat, say hello. You're so cute in your little costume. I'm sorry, I'm getting distracted. Isn't my husband handsome, you guys?
That is not something.
I love it when you come on the show.
Questions like that.
Why shouldn't I ask the internet questions like that?
Get to the Festivus.
You're so handsome, though. I'm so in love with my husband, you guys. I'm really lucky. Okay. Okay, let's see. We want to share the screen. Okay. Oh, video is epic. Thank you, Colleen. Thank you. We had so much fun making it.
That was Erica's idea.
Yeah.
I just did the finessing, but she had the vision.
Yeah.
Really ridiculous.
Yeah. You're so much fun. I'm the luckiest girl. I'm sorry, you guys. I'm totally gushing over my husband. I'm supposed to be cool here. Okay. So here is the Festivus report from Rand Paul. It's just like opening, here's what he says at the beginning. So I think it's really one of the things that's really important to make sure we don't sort of just breeze over is that the national debt hit $20 trillion. And that is actually only what is recorded. Okay. That's what we know we owe. That does not include the unfunded mandates for Social Security and Medicare into the next several decades and years. Linda, what's up with them eyes?
Well, Lyndon, I was a Sith Lord today, destroying the lives of Jedi and rebels alike. So I did not have time to change before this very important Festivus discussion.
Technically, you did.
No, I didn't.
Technically, you did.
Too much work.
I wanted him to wear the costume and open. You what?
I flew home as fast as I could.
You flew?
Yeah.
Like actually flying?
No, like metaphorically speaking, I flew home. I was driving very fast.
Oh.
Speeding. Yeah.
Moving on.
So I didn't have time to change.
He totally had time. Anyway, moving on. Moving on. $20 trillion. So seems like just yesterday the national debt was 20 trillion. US has managed to breeze past 28 trillion. So I'm sorry, I misspoke earlier. So we've breezed past 28 trillion. And again, that does not include Social Security and Medicare. And what's interesting about that is the Vermont debt similarly does not show the unfunded mandates of our pensions. So many of you guys listening know that Vermont state pensions, Vermont public employee pensions, so what the police officers, the teachers, all those pensions, the state employees, the city employees that are all like in that, it's been chronically underfunded for years and years and years by the Democrats in office. So I hate for this to be a bash Democrats. I said I wanted to be positive.
That is actually your opinion. You can avoid doing that. You can
No.
just talk about politicians in power.
Okay, the current sitting politicians, which if anybody's paying attention knows is all Democrats. Oh my goodness. May as well be bankrupt. You're correct, Brian. It literally is. If you ask any economist or anybody with any sense, they will tell you that it is so chronically underfunded that it's almost bankrupt, if not actually bankrupt. And they have no intention to fix it. So even when we got unless something has changed, and maybe they'll put it in the budget this year, but as far as I know, even when we got all the millions of dollars in COVID relief money from the federal government, none of that went to the pension that is underfunded. So if you're a police officer, a teacher, a public employee, write to your legislators and let them know that you actually want your pension funded. So the debt for Vermont is also not real. Whatever you see as Vermont's debt does not include those unfunded pensions. So it's actually millions of dollars higher than what they will admit. Okay. I think it's weird that Rand Paul says anything about the Kardashians. That just seems weird.
He's making a joke here.
That is so. I wonder if he wrote this.
He's just listing things that happened throughout the year. It's not important.
Oh my God, dad bod was added to the Webster's dictionary. This is seriously, you guys. I have a dictionary from the 1940s that was given to me, and I'm really grateful because I get to see what words actually mean, what they actually meant when they were words and not stupid. Their main objective this year, I believe, is the Global Warming Solutions Act. That's my understanding as well. Also, Global Warming Solutions Committee's racist, last time I heard, because they had deadlines. So Susanna Davis literally said that deadlines are white supremacist. I'm not kidding. I did a news program, the Erica Reddick show, one of the news episodes. I talked about it. She said that for real.
Interesting.
Deadlines are racist.
Interesting position to take.
Readers of the Platinum Pig Awards may recall my penny plan balanced budget. That is really funny. Platinum Pig Awards. I don't even know what that is. Do you?
43 pages though. So if we're gonna go through and we can't read all of this.
Oh, it's 43 pages?
Yeah, it's 43
wow.
pages.
Look at how 43 pages.
I know.
Okay.
Figure out what's important here.
Okay, well, entertain them for a second while I get to the part where... Oh, okay, here we go.
That was the shortest entertainment I've ever done in my lifetime.
That was so entertaining, baby. You're so entertaining. Okay. So, the budget office, CBO, is the Congressional Budget Office. And that Congress spent $6.8 trillion, $266 billion more than 2020.
Nice.
So let's see. He says he's highlighting 52. Oh my God, I can't. Is that billion? That's billion. $52 billion of waste.
Yeah.
So
yeah, 52 billion, 598 million.
So
515,585.
Think about that, you guys. We spent 6.8 trillion and he's only highlighting 52 billion. So those numbers don't even mean anything anymore, I feel like.
To politicians, they do not.
It's like, oh, I'm going to be a trillionaire.
Well, it's easy to spend other people's money. They have the credit card of the American people, but they're like really rich. Moreover, you have to understand that if the country ever really went south, went sideways in some way, they would be the first people to know.
Yeah.
They would be the first people to liquidate their stocks or move them all into foreign things. Like you've seen that if you've seen anything talking with Nancy Pelosi and these other politicians,
how she's beat the market every year.
The market. So if you watch anything from Russell Brand has been on top of this very strongly recently about how politicians are making all this money from the stock market because they know what's going to happen and they can clearly trade ahead of the things that they're getting ready to do. So what do you think would happen if the dollar is going to go to 20 cents of its value? All of a sudden they have money in other countries, other currencies, and offshore accounts. That's what would happen. So so there's no risk to, not to mention they're famous. So when they went somewhere else, they've got 1 million followers on social media. They could just make the money back. Is there no risk gain to them right now?
That's really, it's really, really silly. Oh, I didn't want to close that. I was trying to, this is a private message. Call sometime tomorrow. Okay. Somebody's telling me to call. I got to call them. Latina Libertarian says money laundering. That is literally what it is.
That's a strong statement.
I think
I'm not going to say
you know what? We'll say it. I'll say it. I don't care. If you think about this, it's literally people deciding, you know, who was it I was just listening to was like invested a bunch of money in crypto, and while they were writing the legislation for crypto, it's like, you guys are,
it's rough.
If the American people are not allowed to do insider trading, then Congress shouldn't either. They should be subject to the same exact laws that we are.
One of the things I saw, I think Nancy Pelosi was talking about, they're part of the free market and that they should be able to participate. And I'm like, yeah, but you control the free market. So that's kind of not cool. More importantly than all of that, you're supposed to be serving your country out of like a duty and responsibility to take care of people. You should be taking like time off from your job or your business to dedicate it to the American people. You're already paid a decent salary by anybody else's standards.
6 figures.
Not to mention all the fame you have, the speaking engagements you'll get, and the things you can do once you're done.
Write books.
Why do you also have to make millions of dollars in the stock market? I don't understand. Considering the amount of the conflict of interest that is potentially there, I don't understand why you should be able to do that.
Well, and really, how much free market do we have left when the federal government has so much control that they can pick winners and losers?
Yes.
They decide what industries to fund and research and do all of these things. This is why, you know, when people ask me, especially people who know me and know that, I consider myself pretty liberal. Even though I am a conservative, I'm a conservative because I'm liberal. So that's kind of like libertarianism, right? I want everybody to live and be free to live. But I also don't think that the government should have so much control and so much power that they can really affect our lives and our ability to make money or not. And that was demonstrated with the nonsense over the last 2 years.
Yes.
The government can decide that you're not essential and you don't have the right to earn money and feed your family.
Yeah.
That is a government that is too big.
That's a strange thing to be able to say to somebody, that your employment, the way that you feed your family, is non-essential.
It is.
How do you make that determination? Because, here's the thing is like, I don't think you guys are essential. It didn't stop you from getting paid. I could have done without you pretty much doing anything over the last like 12 months. And I'd have been fine.
Yep. But
you still got yourself paid. I think they got a raise.
They got a raise. They voted themselves a raise.
Oh, actually, matter of fact, Brian Wright says Congress shouldn't be doing insider trading, voting themselves lifetime pensions even after one term, yada, yada. And that yada includes voting themselves raises.
While we're losing our businesses.
So we don't vote for them to have a raise. they vote themselves a raise.
Well,
That's weird.
and I think it's really interesting. I've really appreciated, say what you will about MTJ, sitting congressperson. Say what you want about her, but I thought her conversation with Tim Pool was really, really interesting.
Very interesting.
When you learn that there's like literally that the Congress people are not there, and this isn't even about the pandemic. This is they will pass these laws or bills or whatever to fund their homeboys with 10 votes.
I've heard that. I could not confirm nor deny, but
I've heard stuff like that before.
I've heard it before, but I've never really seen anybody concrete prove it. But here's the thing: even outside of that, the other thing that she said that was interesting was she was talking about they don't want you to know what they voted for.
Correct. Which is why they have these omnibus bills,
which is garbage, because that's your job.
Oh, who was the guy? Oh my God, Mark Meckler. There was a guy who was a mentor of Mark Meckler, who is the founder of Convention of States.
Levine? Is that him?
No, it's the man is no longer with us. I know his name. It is on the tip of my tongue. I'm pretty sure he was actually also a mentor of Charlie Kirk's. So this guy was very influential. Anyway, he had a bill that he wanted passed, and it was to make single topic bills. So no more omnibus spending packages where they just put all this crap in there and then 10 people vote on it. It's each spending item, each bill has to be separate and by itself so that you can see exactly what they're voting for or not. And they have no excuses. But the thing that she said about the only 10 people voting, I've heard stuff like that before. There's a guy, Olga, the Latino libertarian. Can you tell me who's the guy in Congress right now who also does the roll call thing? It's a guy who's a libertarian, and he makes them do a roll call all the time, which is when it makes all of the Congress people come back and have to vote.
That's the other thing she was doing.
Yep, exactly. So that wasn't the only time I've heard that before.
That's good. They need to go. Listen, dude, you're paid to do your job. Go to work, bro. Like, I don't understand how that's weird. If you're supposed to be the greatest legislative body in the freaking country, whatever, and you're getting paid 6 figures, and you're getting okay, so you get to do that, and you are insider trading. You can't just go to work. That's not enough money for you to just be in the office every day for however many years. The millions of dollars you're making.
Nope.
Ahead of hedge funds, ahead of professional
it's because they have to spend all day, every day fundraising because they need millions of dollars to fundraise for their campaigns.
So he said the $52 billion of waste, including a study of pigeons, gambling on slot machines, giving kids junk food. Yeah, we need to research that so hard. And telling citizens of Vietnam not to burn their trash.
That's definitely worth spending money on.
We're spending, I want you guys to take those 3. Would you spend $12 on telling the Vietnamese not to burn their trash, which I don't know how you tell people it's their country, they can do what they want to, I'm just saying, on a study of pigeons gambling on slot machines? Do you think that will be worth 12 of your dollars? Or do you think we need to do another study on giving kids junk food? Maybe you should do a study on not giving kids junk food and making them work out every day. I think that would be.
I thought that was white supremacy too. I thought.
She said it's not letting her comment. Don't let them silence you.
Don't let them silence you.
Resist and persist in that resistance.
Text me, and then I'll read it out loud if it's being that stupid.
Yes. All right.
What was I just gonna say? It was gonna be really profound and amazing. What are you reading?
He said, so before we get to feats of strength, it's time for my airing of spending grievances.
Yes. Okay. So let's see. Hold on. I'm going to stop sharing for a second. Okay. Now entertain them for a second.
I have no idea how to entertain all you people.
Entertain people.
I don't know what that means.
I don't know. Say something fun and entertain. Who wants Benjamin to run for office in Vermont? Anybody who wants Benjamin to run for office in Vermont, start commenting, liking, and
Oh
sending
no,
him
you're gonna have
messages.
to prove to me why that happens. Is gonna be like, why do I need to run for office in Vermont? What is
Because
the unique reason I will be uniquely qualified?
you should run for city council and I'll run for school board.
But it would just be savage.
I'll run for Congress and you can run for governor.
The truth of the matter is I don't like arguing with people that much. I don't know.
Brian says absolutely. Brian says absolutely. What do you think?
Why?
Should he run for governor?
Why absolutely, Brian?
Let's have him run for governor.
Oh my God. Okay.
Oops,
I can't guarantee you that I won't say some wild stuff.
That's the point.
In a debate.
I want you to say wild stuff. It'll be great.
Because I just don't care all that much. And I know that it's the freaking we're in clown world right now. It's clear we're in clown world. I think the positive to me running would be they'd have a hard time with the whole racist thing, but then again, they might say, I've internalized my white supremacy, which is one of my personal favorite insults.
Did you guys know that actually happened when I ran? I think it was for city council in Burlington. One of my neighbors called me a racist, and I said, oh well, I'll be sure to let my husband know that he married a racist.
Yep.
And she said that he must have internalized the white supremacy.
She's so certain. I love the certainty of humans who don't know things.
I was one of the some of the most racist crap.
Isn't that a book, The Certainty of Fools or something like that?
Is it?
Is that a book, The Certainty of Fools?
I don't know. Google it.
If it's not a book, that's a good book. That's a book someone should write. It is an astounding phenomenon how certain people are who don't know things, how certain they get about things. Lieutenant governor has a nicer office.
Lieutenant governor has a nicer office than the governor? What? Is that even a real thing? Ray, are you talking about Vermont House or U.S. House? Because it's not official yet, you guys, but more to come. Just saying, more to come. Let's see. Yes, you should run for office.
Okay.
But why does the lieutenant governor have a nicer office than the governor? That's what I want to know.
It's more about who gets to say wild stuff to people when they're bringing up stupid ideas. If I'm going to have a job, my job would be Ron Swanson, essentially. I'm here as like a dam to the foolishness and to force people to explain why stupid ideas make sense to them, which will hopefully also expose their stupidity to everyone else around. Now, I'm trying to be positive about this, or let's just say ignorance, expose their ignorance.
Ignorance.
Right?
Misguidedness.
They may be well-intended. People are often well-intended. Yeah. Hanlon's razor, right? But that doesn't make their ideas terrible.
So Ray says he wants you to be in the Vermont House. Yes.
I mean,
I wonder, what would be funny? Actually, we don't know what the redistricting is going to look like in Vermont yet. They actually, funny enough, I spoke with Representative Samantha LaFave, who is on the Government Operations Committee where this is all taking place. I think it's the Government Ops Committee, but she's on the committee. And she said that the committee picked the map that was not voted on by the majority. So the majority of members voted on one, and somehow, I don't know how, they gave them the one that the lesser amount of people wanted. It's weird. It's weird.
Lyndon says, run. It will break the control freak conditioned brains of the CRT illiberal to see a black man speaking to reality. They won't be able to scream deplorable racist. What will they do? Oh, they'll definitely scream it. It'll just be dumb.
Yes.
But they'll scream it. Funnily enough, this is interesting. I had a conversation with a gentleman who's a Democrat. He's a nice guy, older gentleman. And we're at like a Kwanzaa event or something like that. And I was shooting some footage for them. And we got to talking, and he got to politics. And I said, I lean right, conservative. I said, I'm more of like a libertarian, more like people get to do what they want to do as long as it's not causing chaos. And he was like, I never met a black libertarian before. This man's like 60 some odd years old. What? He said, I had never met a black person who says they're libertarian. And we had
one that would admit it.
Maybe that, but we had a really long conversation where he was asking me a ton of questions because he was trying to understand, like he was really trying to understand how I landed, where I landed on certain topics. And as usual, when you have a conversation with a reasonably open-minded person, a real conversation, specifically if you are liberty minded, you will agree on probably about 80% of things. There's 20% where you're going to either disagree on things, or normally it's how to do something. But the values
or the role of government.
Often how much of a role should government play in that thing? But like most of his values and the stuff he wanted, most of it was the same. And he agreed vehemently with me on many, many, many topics.
Well, that's what it's really funny. And I share this all the time. I have self-proclaimed socialists and self-proclaimed progressives calling me and supporting my, supported my Vermont Senate campaign. They just said, people have gone too far. This is too much. They're saying things that are not true. They're hurting people. And it's true. We're going to say that mentally ill, drug addicted people should be left on the street and that should be legal and fine. And it's like,
help them.
So it's better that they live in their own filth and chaos and we don't help them be better and clean and safe. Like they're more likely to get hurt. Oh my God. Focus. Anyway. Okay. We're focusing. Okay.
I'm reading while you're getting this done. He says, Brian says Lieutenant Governor's office is in the State House. It's a real nice office. Governor office, just a typical state house. That sounds boring. We want to be extra. Also, the Lieutenant Governor most likely would have the pleasure of rubbing shoulders with special interest folks and Chinese reps.
I want to be Lieutenant Governor.
Interesting.
What I did hear was that Lieutenant Governor was a part-time job, right? So governor's full-time year-round. The Lieutenant Governor is when the legislature is in session, and that you basically don't do anything except that you get a bully pulpit. And you get to talk smack, and you're like the head of the legislature.
I would enjoy trolling people.
I think it would be fun.
I'm a natural born troll.
I wouldn't mind being Lieutenant Governor.
I'm trying to be nice, but I have the bad habit of asking the question, why are we doing things?
Why?
And that's what people can't
That's why I think you should run for school board.
I will consider.
Burlington School Board has a bigger budget than the city of Burlington.
We'll consider
and that affects the rest of the state.
It's
Okay.
Festivus.
Okay. Festivus. Okay. The waste we found, $52,598,000, right?
Mm-hmm.
The average taxpayer pays about $15,000. That means they just in this, what he's highlighting, they wasted the taxes of 3.5 million Americans.
3 million.
That's great. You and I, the money we paid,
it's wasted.
Paid for pigeons on cocaine,
on coke
doing slot machines,
coke, pigeon gambling.
So we couldn't like do upgrades on our house.
So let's be clear, we can't do coke.
We can't do coke.
But you can get in certain places. You can't gamble,
and you can't.
The pigeons are gambling and doing cocaine
with your money.
Wow. Continue.
Okay, so
roughly the population of Los Angeles, California, Chicago, Illinois, or 50.74 times the size of Senator Paul's hometown of Bowling Green, Kentucky.
I wonder how many times that is my hometown of Milton. I wonder how many people live in Milton.
So the question is, was it your money that was wasted? Because it wasn't their money.
That is so funny.
Ray Ingram says Dean was lieutenant governor at the beginning of the end of Vermonters, as we know them.
Yeah, it really is. Oh God. Okay. I'm not going to get off track. Okay. We're going to get into it. We're not going to bury the lead. Okay. So if instead of spending it on nonsense, they could have given every American $6.78. $6. We could have done 13,000 miles of highway, right? They're talking about this infrastructure package.
Boom.
Guess what? We wouldn't need another infrastructure package if you just didn't waste our money on stupid stuff.
Listen. 4-lane highway construction long enough to cross the United States 5.26 times with the money
that's
that they
crazy.
Wasted.
That means
could have done that.
Oh my God. Anybody that lives in LA, the roads there are garbage. It's like they did what is it called? Scarifying pavement, where it's like the rough pavement before they repave it.
Yeah.
It's like every single road in LA and California is like that. So we could have taken care of it. Oh, look at that. We could have taken care of our veterans.
4.5 months of operating the VA.
Could have taken care of our veterans better. 1 year and 8 months funding the Department of Energy. Why do we, what?
I'd have to look
We
into
gotta look that up.
specifically what they do there.
Could we have spent that money better than the federal government?
Absolutely.
What do you think? I would have spent the
I
money.
could have made magic happen.
Are you kidding me?
$52
What's the
billion?
What's the guy who started the school in like Georgia or whatever?
King Randall.
So we could have. How much do you think King Randall could, or Joe Elliott of Catalyst Collective,
X School for Boys,
these people who help young people, young at-risk youth from falling off into suicide and drug overdose, like they are.
Will more importantly help them move forward in a way that positively affects their community, teaching them that it is their responsibility to positively affect their community.
Oh, and guess what? You know whose job it is to pour into the next generation?
That's us. That's what community is about, fam.
Community.
That's
community,
one of the
community.
For the principles.
Don't wait for the government to do it.
For the principles that we're practicing in 2022 are community, energy, pride, and abundance.
That's right.
Pride is basically, do you have it in your work, and do you instill it in other people because they need that? Community, are you a part of it? Are you engaged in it? Which everyone talks about that, but most of us don't do enough for our community. We really don't have time. We don't look the guy in the eye.
We don't make the time.
We don't talk to people. You don't know your waiter's name. And over the last week, seriously, guys, we have been really trying to focus on just community. Like, am I here to be with other people and to be on the scene and be a positive impact? And I've had people, I walk by them and say, hey, man, you having a good day? He says, yeah, man. I said, you're happy to be in America, right? Yeah. Guy walks around the corner, U-turns, comes back up to me. I'm like, oh, goodness, what's going on here? He comes up, you know what, man? You're right. Thank you so much for saying that. You really are right. That is really important.
Yep.
You know why he reacted that way? Because no one else is thankful.
Yep.
So imagine what happens when you're thankful and you put a smile on someone's face, and then now their energy has changed and it shifts and they put a smile on someone's face. Community. We can have tremendous amounts of impact if we actually care to try.
Mm-hmm.
And most of us don't. And the last one is abundance. Abundance being, that's finances, that's time, that's energy, that's love, that's whatever you have. Are you giving it? Do you have so much of it? It's overflowing, and you're giving it to the people around you. And
it doesn't mean money. It doesn't mean money.
Not
like
necessarily.
Abundance does not mean you have to give all your money away or you're rich or whatever. But am I believing in abundance for myself?
Mm-hmm.
Am I offering abundance when I go out? Am I operating out of a lack mindset?
Yes.
Like there are limited resources, limited time, limited energy, limited love, whatever, fill in the blank.
Yes.
Or am I operating like these things are in abundance?
Correct.
And that I can be the possibility of abundance, right? And believe for that, rather than staying stuck in this, like this muck and this mire we've been in for 2 years.
Lack, a view of lack, instead of we live in the greatest country in the world. And what does that mean?
That's right.
That should mean something. For those of us who continue to tell everybody that they should be thankful and that they live in the greatest country in the world and yada, 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 do you act like that when you talk to them or to other people about those things? Or do you still act like you live in a lacking situation?
Yep. And that's, and you know, what would help create community, abundance, energy, and pride?
What's that?
A smaller federal government.
Absolutely.
I'm just saying. Okay.
Absolutely.
Okay. Back to this guy. Okay.
Brian Wright says, just for quick, they should curtail all federal grants as well. Localize our roads and education. I've heard many people, roads and education come up a lot. Roads all the time. Education, definitely.
Every educator I know says that the federal Department of Education and the No Child Left Behind Act and all of that stuff were the death of education in this country.
Interesting.
It is. Oh, are we digressing again?
Nope, we're going to get back to it.
Okay, we're getting back to it. This is why Benjamin is on the show today, because otherwise we would just be off the rails.
Show never end. The waste of 2021.
It is the show that never ends. It just goes on and on, my friend. Okay, is that better, you guys? Can you see that better?
Yes.
Okay, so foreign countries use our aircraft for free for 4 years.
773 million.
700. Why do they get to use our aircraft? U.S. bought Afghanistan planes that were later thrown away.
How do you throw away a plane?
Okay, I'm gonna actually like get angry. This is actually gonna make me
How do you
angry.
throw away a plane?
And why isn't it not in my backyard?
No, check this out. Here's the funny part.
I want a plane.
Wait. Here's
How do you throw away a plane?
Here's the issue. I'm already mad, kind of right now. Off the first two. So the issue is, so that happened. Didn't anyone look at that and go, you know what, this was a bad idea.
Whoopsie.
Maybe we should stop doing stuff like that.
Probably not.
They could probably say, oh, that's fine, it's whatever, we had it, and they just kept on moving. Oh, we gave away when we left. Okay, I mean, okay, I can see that. Still not good.
So though, wait, that's not the stuff we left there. I don't think, is it? Is that what he's saying? U.S. bought Afghan. Oh, maybe that is what he's saying. Okay, that would be stupid.
So
that
dumb.
makes me angry. Okay,
U.S. constructed buildings in Afghanistan left sitting unused.
$2.5 trillion.
That's not true.
Yes, it is. I just yelled in the thing.
No,
why did it move over like that?
No. It's hundreds, thousands, millions, billions. It's not trillions. It's 2.4 billion.
Oh, 2.4 billion. You're right. That's right. We're not even talking trillions.
No, we're not
in the whole thing.
Total thing is
I know.
52
Well,
billion.
whatever. It still makes me mad. It's stupid. Okay. So, U.S. constructed buildings in Afghanistan left sitting unused. How about all my Burlingtonians and my Vermonters who can't find an apartment for a reasonable amount of money? We could have spent $2.5 billion on buildings in Vermont that would have been like all green. They could have even been green and like self-heating or whatever the crap
solar
is.
Panels, whatever the crap you're doing with them. Here's the deal. You can't talk about you want to take care of veterans and the homeless, but you put $2.4 billion in buildings in Afghanistan that we're not even using.
Unused.
At least had you done some nonsense here that I probably wouldn't agree with either, at least it would have been here and gotten used.
COVID relief grant to New York City to display art projects across the city.
25 million?
$25 million. Who got that money?
What? No, wait. It's New York City. Don't you guys? It's a city. Don't you guys have money?
Don't they have their
rich people in New York City that could have like done that? Like I don't understand.
Lots and lots of rich people. This is why I said like some of the art stuff where I'm like, if it was going to actual art people, like if you and I had gotten it, which we didn't qualify for some of the relief stuff.
No, we did not.
That's a whole other thing. But so you gave 25 million to people specifically in not even across the country,
New York City,
like artists who are suffering, who lost work because everything was shut down.
Money that year.
Okay. Oh my God. Okay.
But like now, like figuratively, like I had
figuratively,
I like gigs booked and they got canceled because of COVID.
That's right.
And the whole set shut down. Ineligible and duplicate PPP loans, $4.3 billion.
Wow. So that was the people who got them that shouldn't have, and like all the fraud and stuff like that. Wow. Improper CARES Act unemployment insurance payments. $36 billion. Wow. So I wonder if that is separate and above what happened in California.
See, this is
because you remember. So there, you guys, there was a big thing that came out. There was a big fraud scheme in California with unemployment running through the prison systems.
Fantastic.
So they found a bunch of prisoners, inmates, were receiving unemployment checks.
It would be funny if it wasn't our money that's getting spent so stupidly.
Oh my God.
And it's like, oh, you mean when you guys just jump up and do a bunch of stuff?
Did you just read that?
Yeah, constructing border walls in the Middle East and North Africa.
Okay, wait. Okay, so Congress thinks it's cool to spend money on a border wall in the Middle East and North Africa.
It's racist to do it here. That's weird. Oh, what?
What
Why did he
is-
write it that way? Okay, free trips for Korean kids to visit DC. I don't understand what's happening.
Whatever that
150
is.
grand.
I don't know.
Okay,
Okay.
gross, but whatever.
Whatever.
Grinding up ferrets to develop COVID and flu vaccines. Why did he
What?
write it that
Please
way?
Google that. Google. Will you Google that? Google that.
You want me to look it up?
Google it. I want to see what. Can
You
you?
want me to look up
Yes.
Why?
What is it? What does that even
Open your
mean?
window. You have the mouse.
Oh, whoops. Here. There. Okay. Does anybody know what that means? Grinding ferrets for freaking displays. Whoops. What is this doing?
You're killing me here.
What did I do?
I don't know, but can you put it back over here so I can finish?
Wait, here we go. Wait, why is this thing up? Go away. Okay.
Bizarre projects including grinding up ferrets, business reports.
What does that even mean? What is this crap?
This is wasteful projects. It's not saying.
Okay, so if anybody knows anything more about that, please put a note in there.
That is.
Oh, I'm sure there's a lot more waste in the
And
CARES Act.
I'm sure this is what he was able to find, but I'm sure
The most
more.
stupid tax credit incentivizing California residents to uninstall fireplaces.
2,100,000.
Why are we?
Why is the country incentivizing California to do any? I have a real problem with federal dollars going to like state pet projects and stuff.
Agreed.
Like that's what your country. Okay, this is a general thing that probably is going to upset some people.
Yeah,
I look at the states as adults, and look at the federal government as like a grandpa who's supposed to step in, like when you have absolutely failed at life, right? So if you're an adult and you're still going to grandpa to pay bills, you're not an adult. You're a child. And you should have problems with that. And see, if you fix just that one part, right? Like that one section of the situation. Sorry, y'all, I hit that microphone. You fix that one section of the situation, we don't have to have these conversations, because if California was to incentivize Californians to uninstall fireplaces, that's a California problem. It's not a United States problem. Like it's not something for the rest of us to have to handle. Personal opinion. Don't know how y'all landed on that. Feel free to drop that in the comments.
I agree with you. I think that it's weird. You guys, I'm sorry, I choked on my seltzer there. I'm trying to recover here.
Sure, that's all it is. Do you got it?
The Rona. We already had it. This is what I tell people. Well, hold on. I'll tell that story after. I really do have a problem with the federal government withholding people's taxes in one state to give it to another state.
Why?
It would be one thing if it were like a natural disaster.
Yeah.
And, and I'm not even saying, my libertarian people, just cut me some slack. Okay. Just walk through this with me. Let's say there's some terrible natural disaster and everything is decimated. Okay. Still, technically, the federal government does not have the power. Actually, well, they do now, but they're not supposed to have the power to do this. But so say they take money to help rebuild something. That's not what we're talking about. We're talking about states like Vermont who make bad decisions and have bad fiscal policy that make people leave, and then they don't have enough money to pay themselves to support themselves. So Vermont's a receiver state because Vermont is like your little sibling who can't seem to keep a job. Okay, like it is the person who does not care or take personal responsibility. And that's how we run our finances in Vermont. And I don't think people in Texas and Florida should have to pay for that.
Yep.
We could pay for those things ourselves if we made better decisions, but our government, our current elected officials don't want to make better decisions.
Nope.
So
got ferrets. He says, haven't heard about the ferrets. Brian Wright says, however, they do use human fetal cells in vaccines, which I'm not really with that part, but okay.
And you're not allowed to ask for a medical exemption. Actually, I wonder I don't know if the Callahans are watching, but so CO, Pastor Callahan's wife, she lost her job at the hospital.
Wow.
She, I believe, was 100% work from home. Okay. And maybe had to go into the hospital occasionally, but she was an administrative person, not a medical person. And they refused. So they took her medical or her religious exemption. But then they have to make the accommodations. Her boss has to make the accommodations, and they declined to accommodate her.
Nice.
For an at-home job.
Nice.
That's how crazy these people are. But whatever.
Nice. Isn't she Spanish?
She's Puerto Rican.
I thought we cared about people of, the minorities and making sure they get it together and get ahead in life and get on equal footing with the rest of us.
No.
Apparently not.
No, because I don't know if you know this, Benjamin, but all not white people are a monolith. So Asian people are considered white, okay, and Jewish people are
Caucasian.
considered white. But all brown people, all not white people, are all the same.
Got it.
Didn't you know? You're all supposed to think the same and act the same and want the same things. And if you don't, you are then excised from the community, and you are now white and have internalized the white supremacy. So therefore, she's no longer Puerto Rican. She's white.
Oh, ridiculous. So wait. Ray says, any money for Adam Bennett shift to investigate Biden and Russia collusion? Brian Rice says we should be investigating Schiff.
We shouldn't be investigating all of them.
Investigate everybody.
Get them all out of there. Term limits. Go to cos.com and sign the petition. Okay. Translating books for Georgia, for Georgians.
Georgian language.
For teaching French people about U.S. culture.
I don't know why we have to do that. They have
Definitely
YouTube.
Don't need to do that.
Giving irrigation systems to Afghan farmers left unused. 88 million.
Well, and again, farmers. So we're helping farmers in other countries. You guys, the nation building that our government does is not cool.
Yo,
it is not.
I'm not even with all the words. At least in the old days when Rome conquered something, at least they took it over and it's theirs now. We conquer things, spend a bunch of money, then give it back, and then they use the things.
And then they do it, and then they spend it on stupid crap that gets thrown out,
or more importantly,
and gone away.
Sometimes they just become our enemies later.
Yeah,
these are things that we gave them to set themselves up to be opponents of ours.
All the times. Name us. Can anybody name a time that we went? Hold on. Can anybody name a time in history where we invaded a country and it went well?
Invaded?
Yeah, think about it. Invaded and tried to do regime change, nation building stuff.
Oh, okay.
Iraq, Afghanistan. I'm even thinking about the boondoggle in Vietnam and stuff like that. Some of that could have been done way better.
Well, it was horrible. There's a lot of Vietnamese people here. Thankful we went over there. I will
obviously
say that much.
I'm not trying to say that we should not have done anything. Okay.
I'm just saying that there are people who are thankful that it happened.
We could have done a better job.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm not a historian.
They are better off. There are a lot of things. We have a good friend who is was one of the kids who so I don't know if you guys know this, interestingly enough. So there was a lot of mixed race babies that were born during that time frame, and they are considered second class citizens, and they are discriminated against, and they are still today.
But I believe back then it was a much worse fate.
Oh yeah, you get dead. They were killing the babies. So there were literally women giving their babies, throwing them into planes and helicopters as the GIs were leaving Vietnam. It was really crazy.
Question.
Why can't we just protect our own ports and borders? Ports and borders. Good question. That's what the federal government's supposed to do.
I don't know.
Okay. Anyway, more dumb stuff.
I don't know enough about Kuwait. I have to look it up.
Oh,
right. But also that you
we were in and out with that one. That was in the 90s.
Boom. There we go. One in the W list, I guess.
One. That was we took them back from Iraq. Developing a film about dinosaurs to inspire middle $2.5 million. Oh my God, Benjamin.
One film.
Do you know what we could do with $2.5 million to inspire young people?
More than one film.
Lots of films to inspire young people. Hey, anybody go to my Subscribe Star and donate.
Yeah, let's get in there.
Pigeons playing slot machines.
465 grand.
NIH. Oh, is that Mr. Fausto?
I think it might be a Faustian deal.
Faust.
It's a Faustian deal.
Keep up. We gotta get a new name for him.
He's Fausty.
So NIH, pigeons playing slot machines,
Fausty.
telling people not to burn their trash. $11 million?
Why? How?
Wow.
How does that?
What's USAID?
I'm not USAID. I don't know what that is.
USAID. Can you Google it?
No.
Yes, I told you if you were to stand on that side, you were in charge of the keyboard. International development. Oh, wow.
USAID is the world's premier international development agency and a catalytic actor driving development results. USAID's work advances U.S. national security and economic prosperity, demonstrates American generosity. How?
Oh, wow.
Okay.
Oh,
and promotes the path to recipient self-reliance. And we're going to check this out.
What?
American generosity.
Wait.
You can't be generous with other people's money. So we didn't say we wanted to do that, and you spent a bunch of money in other places doing things that everybody's not really super for. That's not generous.
Well, also,
hold on. That's just stuff.
Wait, hold on. A path to recipient self-reliance and resilience. I thought that was also white supremacy. I thought we weren't allowed to say things like self-reliance.
I no longer know what terms are considered racist or white supremacist.
I thought that was part of the
I don't know.
My brain is not working tonight.
I don't know.
That report that came out that said being punctual was racist and all that stuff.
Yeah, it's stupid stuff. Funding green energy
in Africa.
Green
energy in Africa.
Again, here's one of the things I just don't understand is like, don't they have rich people in Africa? So I just think it's really weird that we're over there doing that. I just think that that's weird. Where are your people at? Like, where are the people in the country who are supposed to do these things for the country? I don't understand how this stuff works in places, because there's nobody over here like funding green energy initiatives for Americans. Like, I wouldn't want them to, but more importantly, that's not their job. If people wanted to do that here, that's Americans' job to do that, not Germany. I think that's just very weird.
Speaking of very weird, attempting to replace an assault vehicle over 2 decades. What does that even mean? I wonder if there's like actually details for
I
all
hope
these
so.
later. Okay, so funding the Wilson Center to put on parties for congressmen. $14 million. Y'all needed parties last year.
You're rich.
We weren't allowed to go to parties.
You're rich.
And you're rich.
Why
are we paying for you to have a party? Oh my God, I'm going to get so mad.
Study verified that hearing bad news decreases happiness levels. Oh, weird.
What?
$1.3 million to do a study that verified that hearing bad news decreases happiness levels. You needed to do a study for that. It's impressive.
Kids crave junk food and gain weight if they're exposed to it. No.
$352,000 to figure that out.
I talk about this. I wonder if this is the same program. Getting high schoolers excited about being airplane pilots. I don't know if this is the same program, but BTC, Burlington Technical College, has a aviation program, and it costs like $100,000+ a year, and like one kid goes to it. So I don't know. Are we short on people who want to be airplane pilots?
Why do you have to do that?
I'm confused. Social Security overpayments to beneficiaries, $4 billion.
4.2 billion.
Wait a second.
Fattening eels for human consumption.
What does that even mean?
$337,500.
Oh my God. This is
so Brian
crazy.
Rice says, how much do we give Fauci to torture dogs?
I wonder if that's in here. Wasn't that one of the scandals that came out, and people weren't mad that he was like saying I am the science and wild stuff, but they were mad that he was torturing animals.
You critique me, you're criticizing the science.
First place champion, total wasted. Wait, hold on.
40 bill.
COVID-19 spend. Okay, here, let me share
Should we say different words? COVID-19 spending.
Yeah, we'll do it like the cornering.
Coof
Coof
19
spending.
spending.
First place champion. Oops. Whoop. Hold on. 40 billion. $316,270,000. And it's going up because it's still going. Which, by the way, you guys, some of the money that was already, so they're trying to do all these new bills, the infrastructure, not that one anymore, but they're still trying to pass all this nonsense. And they haven't even spent all the money that was authorized in previous years, but they still are asking for more money.
Of course they are. That's how you do government. You ask for more money. Then you don't do everything, but you still ask for more money. It's genius.
So this is the
endless grift.
So SBA Watchdog found at least 4.3 billion in bad loans out of the Paycheck Protection Program. So I had clients, those of you who know, I have an accounting business. I do bookkeeping and consulting, and I had clients that were partnerships. Okay. Their corporate structure was a partnership. And the SBA would not accept a 1065 or a K1. So the partnership tax return is a 1065, like a personal is a 1040. They would not take a 1065 as evidence, and a K1 is the equivalent to a partner of a W-2 or a 1099. And they wouldn't accept K1s as evidence to get PPP loans or disaster loans or anything. So I had clients who had no access to anything just because of their corporate structure, because this thing was rolled out so hastily and stupidly. And yet somehow some shysters managed to get 4.3 billion, but actual businesses that got shut down and lost tons of money couldn't get help. The government is stupid. Okay.
So we're going to not read all of this because it's a lot, but basically what he's saying is that, no, go back up there. I'm going to highlight some of that. Is that, he said March 2020 government imposed lockdowns had just begun. Remember 14 days to stop the spread.
Yep.
Basically, he said they cut all these checks to help people after effectively criminalizing commerce. So they did the PPP, but rather than make sure that the money went to the people who truly need it, the SBA sent as much as 4.29 billion to people who weren't even eligible to receive loans or who received duplicate loans. So more than 3.6 billion of the PPP was sent out to those of the Treasury's do not pay list.
Wow.
Which is a list so that people in the government check it and they don't send people money, but they didn't. These are people like fraudsters, people who aren't eligible. They still sent them the money. So the SBA didn't even use the list. And then they sent out duplicate checks on their own.
Wow.
So they didn't even check their own list. And there's like 600,000 that went out to those people. So that's amazing.
God. So tons of lack of oversight. This was one of those times, actually, you know, it's really funny.
We gotta do something.
Do you remember, I don't know if you remember me saying this, but at the time, you know, somebody that gets a lot of crap, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, you know, we're not on the same political side, but I remember when this was getting rolled out and she was like, this is terrible. This is corporate greed.
Mm-hmm.
This is the greatest transfer of wealth to the rich. And I was like, she's right.
Major, huge companies soaked up money and done a bunch of small businesses were not able to take advantage of this process. And literally the rich got richer.
We know
and
that it
shut down our businesses,
literally
and
was.
The only things open were like the really, really huge and wealthy stores. Come on, man.
So there literally was a shift, a wealth transfer from the lower and middle classes to the most wealthy.
Correct.
So
you took everybody's money and you positioned it to go out to people who were already very, very wealthy.
And had endowments and other things that they could have spent had they chosen to. So you shut down mom and pop shops. So they lost everything that they had. And now they have to go get a job
Walmart
with a box store.
Was open.
Why?
Grift of the
I don't know.
Nope.
Like
grift of the endless.
Does COVID not spread in Home Depot?
No,
but it does spread in the local hardware store
because they have very powerful air filtration units that they run
Oh.
in Home Depot, and so it captures all of the microbes floating in the sky. Yeah, because Home Depot is cutting edge with that kind of stuff. Yeah.
Okay.
Ray Ingram
Are we gonna
says,
get in
"Yep."
trouble for that?
Yep, and then they keep the money. Yes,
Yep.
Ray, they keep the money,
Okay.
and the grift continues. The grift continues.
Unemployment. Okay, so yeah, good. So he explains. So this is unemployment payments. This is improper rates, presuming and wait, the program has an improper payment rate. Sorry. So here we go. In November 2020, the Department of Labor Office of the Inspector General found that UI benefits program had already paid out as much as $36 billion in improper payments from the CARES Act alone. So think about, I actually know somebody who was on unemployment for like 3 years straight.
Nice.
She was a person who previously had a job, but just didn't feel like working and was like having like a existential crisis and was trying to figure out what she wanted to do. So she was already on unemployment for like a year. She had used up all her benefits right before the pandemic struck, and they just extended it. Yes. And it wasn't because she couldn't get a job.
Didn't feel like it.
She has the skills and the ability to have gone out and gotten a job, but she was not made to go get a job.
Just finding herself.
I don't know if she's watching. She might know if she's watching, she might know who I'm talking about. But it was like, dude, you are taking money out of the kitty for people, and that's going to cost businesses more money in the future. So because you're leeching off of the unemployment system, that's going to make everyone's rates go up. And you don't pay that. The businesses pay it. So I
want to say I land on I land in two sides of these camps when it comes to taking things from the government that are stupid. One side of me says, get all of the money that you can get, because they're doing the exact same things themselves.
That's true.
So there's one side of me that says that, and then there's the other side of me that says you shouldn't do that at all, and it's jacked up and stupid.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of on both camps on that one. Especially when you realize, like, well, some people like have never taken unemployment ever. And so they're like, look, I've worked nonstop for 10 years. If I could take a year off and figure out what I want to do to switch things up, I'm going to take this year off if you're going to be stupid enough to give me the money. So I'm in both places. There's a part of me that's like, yeah, do what's right for the team. The other time, I was like, man, hey, they're going to be dumb.
Wow. Okay, so some experts say when it's all said and done, the losses to unemployment coffers nationwide will be between $200 billion and $300 billion.
And who is going to take the blame for that?
Businesses, probably.
Because the government is not going to say, yo, we're terrible at this and we did a bad job.
So, and this is, again, counting here. So I'm seeing these unemployment rate numbers come through. So this, as an example, the state of Vermont raised every business's unemployment rate, whether they lost people or not. So I have a single member LLC. She is the only employee, and her unemployment rate went up.
Yep.
And what's funny, she can't take unemployment because she's the business owner. So she has to pay
for unemployment for a thing that she can't utilize.
Take. Oh, wait, and I think even though she is an employee, I'm trying to remember now exactly how this works, but it's like, even though you're the employee, you can't because you're the owner, but it's a weird thing. So it's stupid. But again, she didn't lose anybody. She's been the same. So normally your unemployment rate is supposed to be set by whether or not you hire and fire people a bunch. And if people actually take unemployment. So the rate is supposed to be based on your business's circumstances. But instead, the state is saying, nope, we're just going to raise everybody's. So that's who suffers. And then you wonder why they can't pay you $15, $20 an hour for a job and whatever. Like, the government regulation added cost of running a business is astronomical. Okay, I'm digressing. Okay, so this is still the unemployment.
Yep,
let's skip down.
Let's see what else I got.
Okay, let's see. Let's share the screen again.
Oh no. Baltimore school received $1.27 million in COVID relief funds for students who actually weren't enrolled. It's so weird that you couldn't trust the school system to send the money back or to report, hey, this happened. We don't need this money. It's just strange that they didn't do that.
In Maryland, a school's enrollment is based on the number of students enrolled on paper on September 30th, not accounting for students who transfer after the month. In Baltimore, federal funding per student equals, wow, $9,000. Meaning, wow, received, wow. So 140 kids at $9,000 a piece, they got a bunch of money they didn't deserve. So did they figure it out while this enrollment fraud was occurring? City received $85 million in CARES Act money. So they got tons and tons of money from the federal government, and improperly in a lot of cases. Some administrators were changing grades and padding enrollment with ghost students who were not So this wasn't even a mistake. This was intentional fraud.
I don't know what's going on.
Wow.
Here's the deal. Again, if your city sucks so bad that you can't afford to take care of the students and the children in your community, you need to be looking at, the city needs to be looking at what it needs to do to become profitable. If you never do that, and you keep handing your child, which is any city that can't pay its bills because it's a child, the credit card, versus going in and saying, why are you terrible with money? Hey, we'll give you the loan this time. We're going to change a bunch of things here because clearly you don't know how to run a city, right? If there's no punishment, if there's no responsibility, if there's no change that's required, people will continue to do this nonsense because there is no penalty. If you have a teenage son who's 15, 16 or daughter, and you hand them a black card at 15, 16, say, hey man, you don't got to work. Just use a card, pay your bills. I got it. There's some children who will be very motivated, right? To say, now I want my own money and I want to do my own thing. But a lot of kids, probably myself included, would be like, we're rich and I can just live the life. I don't have to work really, really hard to get my own stuff. I can just fund it with this card. I'm going to start a business. I could just swipe the card. How many kids do you think would grow up? Those are the cities and the states that keep getting money from the federal government. There's no penalty to it. It's very simple.
Oh my God. Ray says, in my 20s, everyone took unemployment and took small cash jobs. We never used to work construction in winter, so layoffs were the norm. Start back up in the spring. I hear that about landscaping jobs and stuff like that in Vermont too. When I hear people that do landscaping collect unemployment in the winter, it makes me want to punch people in the face. Go get another job.
And unemployment wasn't enough either. That's why people took odd jobs during unemployment season. See, what I
don't understand that.
When I started my film stuff, I had never taken unemployment a day in my life, and I was like 28 and got laid off. And so when that happened, I said, all right, normally let's go right and get a job. This time I was like, I'm going to take my unemployment. I haven't taken it in 20 some odd years. I'm going to pull from unemployment. But what I did to extend my unemployment is I was still working. So I was like, this is a buffer so I can find a better job or get into my career field. So I used that and combined it with doing a bunch of things cash. And I reported the money that I made. To extend the benefits. So, I made $300-400 this week. I only need $100 to fill in the gap. And I was able to extend my benefits out longer until the point where I could support myself purely inside of my career field and pay taxes and hire people to do these things now. So I get it, just be effective with it.
Well, that's the thing is if you're going to finesse something, then finesse something. Don't just be a lazy ass.
Yeah. Make a move. Hustle.
That's all I'm saying. Can't knock the hustle. All right. Picture's worth 1,000 words. How about 25 million? So that art thing that we were talking about earlier, basically they paid artists to do live creation or whatever around the city. And all you had to do was take 2 photographs to prove that you did it. And they paid out 25 million to do that. Okay. Yes. Oh my God. Afghanistan.
3.8 was it billion?
Billion. Yep. Let's see. Free flying. Oh, that's this. So, okay. So this is the planes and stuff. Okay. Between We didn't ask for reimbursement for flights. Oh, this was the flying people around for free. And we didn't ask for anything. Multinational linguists, no way of verifying.
There's a lack of data, so they don't actually know how many millions of dollars were lost.
Wow.
773 million is the best estimate they have. It's total amount awarded for the 3 base contracts.
So, and then this neglect was widespread. After withdrawing our troops, not only were we letting foreign nations use our aircraft, but now we're potentially supplying the Taliban with billions of dollars in weapons and letting them profit off of them. Talk about a free ride. Yeah, we left all of our equipment there. Tanks, guns,
that's fine because
anti-tank missiles.
But it's not the Taliban.
All of the gear.
But it's not the Taliban of old.
They're new and woke.
They're reformed now, and so now it's fine because they're more devoted to inclusion and female empowerment,
diversity.
For what I heard, that's what they said at least.
Diversity, equity, and inclusion. Die. They want you to die. Irrigation systems in Afghanistan. Okay, hold on. I'm going to skip through to see if we can find details on the stupider ones. Okay.
Wait. Ferrets.
Planes for Afghan Air Force that were sold as scrap. We sold them as scrap. Our military spent $550 million on aircraft that they junked later for $40,000.
So when you said that those were left, this report is saying that these weren't. I think it was Brian that said it. This isn't saying they were left. It's saying they were scrapped.
So they just got wrecked. We didn't even resell them to somebody who needed not as nice a planes or something.
Yep.
That is crazy.
He said, no, you skipped something.
Oh, what?
He said, the Pentagon bought 20 G222 cargo aircraft from Alenia, North America in 2008, but the planes proved unreliable, subsequently leading to problems such as long delays to secure the delivery of spare parts, maintenance problems, safety complaints from Afghan pilots. How dare they? Continue.
Oh, you mean like that?
The program we suspended, the planes were destroyed. The program was suspended, the planes were destroyed and turned into scrap metal in 2014, which was sold for $40,257.
That's
not
so
even
stupid.
1/10,000th of the value.
Okay, so dumb.
No one was held accountable.
$2.4 billion on buildings. Let's see. Maintained in good. They had structural damage. No kidding. Plumbing issues, all kinds of issues. Those are the billions of dollars in buildings that aren't being used. Here's the miscellaneous. Let's see. Congress gave the Defense Department $250 million to build border walls in the Middle East and North Africa. Isn't that funny?
It's really weird that other people can have borders, but not us. I think that's very strange.
It's racist if we do it, but other people can have it, and it's fine.
Borders in Jordan, Lebanon, Egypt, Tunisia, and Oman.
That's amazing.
I think that's very, very
vacations for Korean kids.
Vacations.
I want to make sure I'm not skipping from page to page. Oh, okay. 4 point. Here's the ferrets. What? Animal testing has played a significant role in biomedical research over the decades. Okay. Blah, blah, blah. FDA Modernization Act allows sponsors, blah, blah, blah. Millions of dollars are spent on animal testing. Let's see. American has given Triple F Farms $4.5 million for breeding and transporting ferrets to COVID-19 and influenza vaccine testing laboratories. Ugh. Oh, God. Okay.
In 2011, an undercover investigation revealed findings from an undercover investigation, including video recordings of ferrets dying in feces, run over by carts, thrown alive into incinerators, and hanging from wire. The Department of Agriculture, USDA, confirmed the violations, but only fined the Triple F Farms just under $44,000. A minor slap on the wrist compared to the millions of dollars of your taxpayer funds they received before and after.
And they're still receiving money.
Listen, before and after the investigation.
Ew. So the abuse continues. That's an NIH thing, right? Or no, that was something else?
I don't know.
Wow. Wow.
That's gross.
That is not cool.
That is really not okay.
Not cool. Oh, look at that. Spending money to tell Californians to take their fireplaces out. That is stupid. We're just going to skip it. Translating books into Georgian, teaching France about culture, dinosaurs. That's stupid. Pigeons playing the slots.
Gambling addiction is a problem affecting over 10 million Americans and counting. If a researcher were to observe and attempt to better understand individuals struggling with this addiction, where do you think they would start? The mega casinos of Vegas and Atlantic City? Sports betting? The rise of mobile gambling? Surprisingly, none of the above. The correct answer? Pigeons in the laboratory.
Pigeons.
That's right. NIH granted Reed College of Portland, Oregon, $465,339 to create a token-based economy where pigeons are taught to gamble. Okay. Pigeons are taught to gamble with slot machines. The researchers plan on allowing the pigeons the choice to spend, save, or gamble tokens in this mini economy. One could understand such a study if pigeon gambling was ravaging the streets of New York City. But it seems as though there are more pressing issues to deal with at the moment.
Are they saying, do pigeons have similar behavior patterns to humans, and that's why there's a reason to study them? I don't understand. Why would you even do that? That doesn't even make sense.
I don't know, especially considering there's like humans that you
Researchers admitted that this study focused on laboratory models rather than practical application. So basically, they admitted that this was stupid and pointless.
More importantly, you could just follow around some humans and see what they do with their own money. I don't know why we have to spend a bunch of money on this.
Wow. Oh my God.
Why don't you go do the study, and then if it's worthy, the government could pay you for it? How about that?
Oh my God. Spending money to stop burning trash, green energy programs in Africa. I know, what's really interesting about this, actually, specifically, it's, now that China has taken a special interest in Africa and they're building a lot of infrastructure and stuff there, it seems like now people care more about Africa openly. It's like, oh, well, if the Chinese are going to go there, then we better get in there first.
Why don't you just go over there and do decent business with people? Like, I've always found it interesting that folks are like, oh, well, capitalism is wrong. So, if you went over there and you just did decent business with people and you put them in a position to win, everybody could possibly profit from that.
Yeah.
Versus you don't have to fleece the country. You can just go do business over there.
Yeah.
Also help people be successful. It's weird. It's like, it's almost like what happened in worked here. So it's weird.
Well, and we are working on a project. We're hopefully going to be working on a project soon about that has to do with Africa. I don't know how much information I can give away.
No.
But it's, instead of being helpful and really helping nations maybe learn and grow and prosper, they've really been ravaged by cell phone industry and solar panel industry. There really are modern day slaves in mines there still today, who are forced labor, run by warlords. And so we can go to Afghanistan for 20 years and bomb the crap out of everybody, but we're not going to help the slaves in Africa mining precious metals because we benefit from that. So anyway, I'm digressing.
No, that's not that much of a digression.
It just makes me so. This is, again, this is why I say, this is why I'm a small government conservative, you guys. This is why I'm a small government conservative. Whatever people's image of what a Republican is, or a libertarian, or a conservative, this is why I'm a conservative. They are spending your money on stupid stuff. They don't care about you.
Here's the thing that's very, very simple. Would you have spent your money to do that? Do you think that they're spending their money? Are they taking their rakings in from the stock market and they're investing it into these things?
No.
They're not going to do that. They're going to spend this money because it's not their money to them. It's your money. If they were held accountable for every dollar and everything else, the way we have to be with businesses that we run and things like that, and credit cards, where if it doesn't get paid back, you're on the line for it.
Yep.
You think that they would spend money like this?
No.
There's an inherent disconnect in there for someone to think that they can spend your money better than you. I don't know why people are not upset by that.
And
that is wild and disrespectful.
And not just spend your money better than you, but actually there's someone more deserving of your money than you.
That too. It's just very, very strange. And you know what? If you didn't take so much money from people, they might even be willing to say, you know what, I don't mind you taking, a percentage in doing X, Y, Z. I don't mind you taking a percentage in offering some service or feature to the American people or to people abroad or whatever.
That
but you're taking so much money that you don't need. And then
Yep. Okay. So U.S. Marine Corps spent billions over decades trying and failing to develop a combat vehicle. So they tried to make an amphibious combat vehicle to replace the 40-year-old AAV that they already had. So just billions of dollars in $3.5 billion in failed development costs.
Because you guys can figure that
also
out.
Sounds like the F-35.
Listen, Ray Ingram, I finessed the government. I've only taken unemployment once myself. The late 70s was a different era. Not a lot of jobs available. Shortly after I went to LA to work the oil fields in the Gulf for November the 2nd. 1.5. I'm not sure what that means. And all the college kids took the winter part-time jobs.
Wow. Oh, yeah, at the ski resort. What do you mean? You don't want to take tickets at the bottom of the lift, Ray? It's not for you? You don't want to be out in the cold?
Stuck up.
What? You're stuck up? No.
Bougie.
Oh, you're too bougie. Okay, Congress gave the Wilson Center swanky parties, $14 million in swanky parties for Congress people.
Nice.
Look at this. Nonpartisan foreign policy think tank in Washington, D.C. That's what that is. So they gave them money, $14 million over the year.
Money.
Wait, so why has it received nearly $300 million? Since 1976. Let's see. Oh, they got, 2020. Okay, so 8 million in 2021, 14 million in 2020. So even though they asked for less, Congress still apportioned them more.
So you mean to tell me, so a group has money. They got a bunch of money that came to them. They didn't need the money. They asked for less money because they didn't need it, and the Congress still gave them the more money than they asked for. The reason why is what people mean when they talk about the swamp. Each year, the Wilson Center puts on a gala honoring, among others, members of Congress who do not deserve to be honored. That was my part.
Oops.
The Woodrow Wilson Awards dinner. The center says it honors those thinkers, doers, and risk takers who have overcome adversity, found success, and stood up for the common good. That doesn't actually apply to any. That doesn't sound like anyone in Congress.
That doesn't sound like any of them. But why is it so? So look at though. Bank of America, JP Morgan Chase, BP, Chevron, Goldman Sachs, all donated to the Wilson Center. So those people are also going to those parties with the Congress people that they're lobbying and doing whatever with. So basically all these massive corporations give money, and then Congress gives money, and they all get together, and probably these corporations tell these Congress people how they're going to pad their pockets and do whatever. This is wrong.
Here's the thing.
This is absolutely
I don't even
wrong.
have to go that far in the speculation. This whole thing is stupid.
Mm.
The whole idea is dumb. I don't think we should be giving awards to the government people for doing anything.
Absolutely not.
It's your job. It's your duty. You should be serving. And if the American people want to do that for you, whatever, but you definitely shouldn't have a place you're giving money to awarding you.
That is stupid.
That's wild.
Additionally stupid is $1.5 million to verify that hearing bad news decreases happiness levels. That is stupid. That is also stupid. Okay.
It's like you have
Who
to do
couldn't figure that out?
That?
Who couldn't figure? Seriously, ask. You could just ask a couple people and they would tell you that hearing bad news makes them sad. That is
so stupid.
This is I'm supposed to trust science. This is what you fools are. This is what you call science. That is, oh my God. I can't even.
Stupid.
I can't.
Ray Ingram said, I worked at Smush from 2013 to 2016 for $10 an hour. Touche, Ray.
I wonder if they're paying 15 now. This is so stupid. This is making me madder and madder.
I completely understand.
New York City planting trees again. Did we say this earlier when we were on camera, or did we just say it when we were talking? Why does New York City need any money from anyone other than New York and New York City? It's a bunch of rich people who live there. Like lots and lots of rich people. Really rich people.
No, it doesn't matter. Listen. That is the entire reason that New Yorkers pay taxes, is programs like that. You don't need a grant for that. That's the point of your state. You're supposed to do that.
Yeah.
Why does anyone else need to be involved in that process? I don't understand. It's not Hurricane Katrina. It's nothing like that. You want trees. Go buy some trees.
It says to make New York more sustainable. You know whose job that is? New York's.
You know, you got running around, you got Jay-Z speaking songs about New York. Ask him for some money to plant some trees. Ask Alicia Keys. Ask Swiss Beats. Who else? Lil Mama, all those rappers. Donald Trump, people who used to be there with huge buildings. Ask those dudes with some money.
They're rich.
To put some trees in there. I don't understand.
Wall Street.
It's only 400 million.
Why don't you talk to the NASDAQ guy and the Goldman Sachs guy at the Wilson Center and get them to plant you some trees?
I don't get this thing.
This is wild.
I don't understand the idea that somebody else is responsible for paying your bills. No, that's not correct. These are things that you'd like to have. These aren't even must-haves. It's not like housing. That's a beautification process.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so for anybody who's just joining us, this has been a really long stream tonight. We're reviewing Rand Paul's Festivus, 2021 Festivus. So every year he puts out this report and shows some of the dumber things that the federal government spends money on.
Yes.
And so we're reviewing that with you tonight. We're giving our opinions. I'm trying to convince Benjamin to run for office in Vermont. He's you guys missed that part earlier. We're going to get back to that. What are you doing?
Liking comments.
Okay. Well, I can't do stuff if you're gonna do that.
Renee Finesse. Okay. Ray Finesse with the best. Ingram. That's his new name.
Ray Finesse with the best.
Ingram.
Is that his new name?
Yeah.
Oh, whoops. We can't both be using the mouse.
Go ahead,
I'm a silly person.
I'm done.
Okay. Oh yeah. So the last one was if you make kids eat junk food, they get fat.
Oh,
shocker.
Amazing.
Shocker.
They want to double check the proven fact.
Federal funding to study if kids crave junk food and gain weight if they're continuously exposed to it.
You mean if they continuously eat garbage, do they get fat?
Anybody who's ever eaten sugar can tell you, or tried to quit sugar will tell you that eating junk food begets more eating of junk food.
This study looked at food. No. Go back to that.
Oh.
This is really dumb. I'm actually legitimately irritated.
Oh, you wanted this part.
This study looked at food as a predictor of weight change in children with daily exposure to categorically healthy and unhealthy foods. Kids were given 14 portions of snack food, such as fruit cups and granola bars, and were instructed to eat them daily. In addition, the study examined if kids continuously snack on fruits and vegetables as opposed to potato chips and chocolate. Will they gain weight and keep choosing unhealthy options? Shocking nobody. The answer is no.
That is so stupid. That is so stupid.
We spent money to talk about
that aviation program. That's stupid. Let's see. What was this one? The national phenomenon. Wait, what?
What?
Change from winter to spring, blah, blah. National Science Foundation educated you about this natural phenomenon that you want to stay inside. What? that basically in the winter people want to stay home and do nothing. Are you serious?
Okay, listen, I make movies and stuff. It did not cost $2.8 million to do 3-hour-long specials about springtime.
Springtime.
Nope, I'm not singing that because of the thing and the thing.
Okay.
We'll get you banned off of places. But yes.
We do like singing though.
This is stupid. I need to get into government contracts or video production because these people are dumb and they don't understand what things cost.
I clearly we're doing our life
We need
wrong.
to get Ray to help us with that particular finesse.
Ooh, speaking of Ray, I could only drink the milk at school, 3 carton a day for 4 years. I live on milk at school. Oh man,
School food is
now
gross.
now I'm getting hungry.
School food
we
is
need to get something to
disgusting,
eat.
for the record.
Guys,
and any one of you who says that school pizza was good, you're lying.
Liars.
I know you must have been abused as a child, and maybe your family didn't like to eat Domino's and Papa John's and stuff, but mine did. And I can tell you for a fact, school pizza is like cardboard. It's disgusting.
School food in general was gross. I remember when I was a little kid. So we didn't grow up with a lot of money. And so we had a brown bag lunch to school every day. And it was like bologna sandwiches and peanut butter and jelly and maybe some chips and a fruit or something. I don't remember. But I remember feeling jealous of my friends that got hot lunch at school because I thought that was cool. And it was like, oh, they had money and they paid for it. And then I remember a couple times getting hot lunch from school and it being disgusting and then being happy. And then I had a bologna sandwich and
I wrote an entire report to the principal because the only decent meal we got was Thanksgiving. And that was a turkey and a gravy, right?
Okay.
And I was like, I don't understand how people are paying taxes and we get turkey and gravy one time a year.
You did not.
I
did a
did.
report on this?
8th grade. I wrote a letter to the principal.
Of course you did.
Because it's stupid. And I would like to believe that it was child abuse. This is Clean Texas, KSD. I'm looking at you. FDA spent $337,500 to fatten eels for human consumption.
What?
When you look at the meat and seafood section of a restaurant menu, you're likely to find steak, burgers, chicken, salmon, shrimp. While there are outliers and more popular across other regions of the country, such as deer and duck, one food rarely seen on the menu is eel. Well, if you go to sushi restaurants, it's pretty consistent. It was primarily used in Japanese cuisines like sushi and remains popular among Native American tribes. Oh, didn't know that.
Wow.
Eel population is declining.
Wow.
So the government sent $337,500 to a Canadian aquaculture company to fatten and raise. So let me get this straight. Again, here we are. This is simple. So we didn't find an American company that even had eels. Maybe a startup, maybe some new Japanese immigrants or some Native American tribesmen who might want to get into the eel business. Not them. We went to Canada. And we gave them $337,000 in taxpayer dollars. So our government paid another company from another country money to make food for us.
Oh my God.
Started doing that here.
Wait, it's even worse. Over the course of 2 years, Nova Eel has been attempting to turn male eels into females by administering them with estradiol, which is a form of estrogen, which in turn causes American eels to gain weight. So because female eels are much heavier than their counterparts, they're more cost effective for the sale of human consumption. Oh, so now I have estrogen in my... Oh, I almost cussed.
I don't want to eat that.
Dropped the F-bomb. Why do I have estrogen in my food? You guys, this is part of the issue. Like when we're talking about cancers and all of these other health problems, and we're not, oh my God, again, Alex Jones can't. So if you're putting estrogen in our food, what do you think kind of effect that's going to have on the people eating it? Okay. That causes cancer. Anybody who knows, women, okay, if you have to go on estrogen treatment when you're older because of menopause issues or whatever, you can get cancer. There's a reason you have a prescription for birth control pills because it can get, which is estrogen, partially, because it can give you blood clots and all this other stuff. But you're going to put it in our food.
Yeah.
Not to mention what that does to men. Okay. Oh, good Lord. Lord help me. Lordy, Lordy. Pants on fire. That's what mom would say. Lordy, Lordy, pants on fire.
It is an amazingly stupid idea.
Oh my God.
Want to throw up.
I'm so...
That's very gross.
This is why I want to run for Congress.
That one actually made
this is for real. This is why I want to run for Congress, because I want to be there to help prevent these things from happening. I want to restore the federal government back to its rightful place in the lives of the American people. Basically, not at all.
Gross.
That is what I want to do in Congress. Okay. That's what we need people to do. Okay. Social Security paid out a bunch of money. They overpaid people.
Mm-hmm.
Made 176,000 overpayments, totaling $4.2 billion. In
2019.
How much is that per payment?
That may not be fully recouped until 2049.
Wow. Okay, hold on. 4.2 billion. So
if we still have a country.
4.2 billion would be 400 billion to 200 million.
000.
Right? 000.
000.
000. Divided by 107.66. So that means 100,000 people got an extra $40,000.
What says
Did they not notice?
They made 100 overpayments.
But that's an average of $40,000 a person.
I don't know. I'm not sure. But
that's crazy. Wild. I mean, it's probably less and more per depending.
Wait, he says, Ray says you can treat menopause system. Brian said we could write a series of books and all this shit. Brian, we already wrote that book. It's called Reasons to Trust the Government.
Oh wait. Should we have a sponsorship moment?
They already seen it.
Oh, okay, fine. That was a good plug for a sponsorship.
Yeah, I think everybody who's in here.
Oh my God. Well, that doesn't mean anything. The people are going to come back.
Drop the link.
Okay, Social Security, blah, blah, blah. And now,
Rager says they don't care about feeding people. It's all about the pharmaceuticals. Lyndon said, yep, estrogenifying the population. You know what? If you consider how, man, that's going to be sexy.
Okay, so this is all his.
If you consider how people are acting nowadays, it doesn't shock me. I'm dancing lively right now.
Yes, Brian, I will autograph it for you in a week.
He said soy and all.
Soy and all. Yes, that is exactly my point.
Let me go over here and roll this down.
We're doing stuff to our men. They're eating weird crap that makes them not manly anymore, and we're making women not womanly anymore, feminine anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Womanly? Manly is a thing. Is womanly a word?
Yes. I've heard womanly used before.
Womanly?
Yep.
Manly.
Feminine. Both.
Femininity. Okay. All right, guys. So that was our review of the Festivus. So now you know.
What do you guys think?
How stupid. Yeah. Tell us what you think in the comments below.
Yeah.
Love it when you guys are here participating and sharing and asking questions. Super fun.
Please,
makes it more interactive.
When you have friends and family and folks like that who give you, I got into an argument recently with someone about trusting the government. And he's like, you have a preoccupation with that. I was like, you have a preoccupation with trust? I said, you have a preoccupation with trusting. And it turned into an entire debate. But essentially, he's one of those people that he doesn't think that he trusts the government, but he does. Because if you don't trust something, you don't give it more power.
Yeah.
What we just talked about today was an example of they don't even have oversight when they make stuff up.
Yeah.
They don't, there's no one watching them and holding them accountable for the nonsense. So it doesn't matter what they say or do. It doesn't matter even whatever laws they write into the things that they say, like, oh, we're going to have these checkpoints. No one's monitoring. They're the ones monitoring themselves.
Yep.
How well do you think that works? Have you ever put a teenager in charge of monitoring?
Oh my God.
Does
well,
it
and
go
think about
well?
it. The Congress is obfuscated to its responsibility to the Supreme Court and to the president.
And lobbyists.
So we don't even have checks and balances
anymore. Lobbyists, because sometimes it is not actually our Congress people who are engaged
writing
in
the bills.
It's random interested parties.
Literally. It is wild, you guys. And so here's the thing is it's really easy to listen to this stuff and watch these things and feel powerless and helpless and hopeless and get apathetic and just crawl back under a rock and do nothing.
Yes.
And that's what they count on. Okay. Nobody has to rig any ballots. Nobody has to do anything. If all they can do is convince you that your voice and your vote don't matter. If they can convince you that you participating in your own self-governance and in the self-governance of your community, your city, your state, your country, if they can convince you that you do not matter, then they win and they get to keep up with the corruption, lining their pockets and stealing from all of us. And here's the thing is that is a lie. It is a lie that you don't have power. It is not true. You do. But it's only if the American people really can take stock of this stuff and get to the polls this year. It is going to be required. If you want to see a change, you need to volunteer for a campaign. You need to donate money to a candidate. You need to run for office yourself. If you don't like what you see going on in your government, it is literally your responsibility to do something about it. If you don't want to be a candidate, you don't want to be out there taking the arrows, that's fine. Build a candidate a website. Do their photography for them, do their videography, help share, like, and subscribe, put up a yard sign. Our form of government here counts on our participation.
Yep. When you see videos like this or something cool on Tim Pool or Russell Brand or whoever you watch and whatever you see, like, share, comment. Share it with people. Get them to take a look. People, specifically people you don't think are going to like what they hear. Like you have friends right now who are completely on the other opposite end of the spectrum politically from you right now. Many of you are conservative, you're libertarians or small government conservatives, whatever the deal is. You have liberal friends, strong liberal, progressive friends. You have socialists, you have communists right now that if they saw what we just shared with you guys just right there, they'd be horrified.
Yep. They would be equally as mad that the government is wasting our money on dumb stuff.
And you'd crack their armor and go, you know what? Maybe they do have too much money. Because, a lot of people, here's a good example. All the money that the government took, right? Let's say you wanted to eradicate homelessness and you wanted everyone to have some level of universal health care. You could have done that with the freaking trillions of dollars that they spent. You could have done that and had money left over. They didn't choose to do that. They chose to spend it on people's salaries, bloated salaries, and a bunch of nonsense. They do not care about the things that they say that they care about. Everyone could have had everything that they wanted, and we would have been good, and we would have probably been in the black. However, because the government does not have to pay any kind of consequences, no one's watching them. Even the people who vote for, you're voting for people, and then you don't even look at what they did when they were in office. Most of us don't know the stuff that we just talked about on this Festivus. Well, most people are unaware that this much waste happens because you elect people and then you go to work. That doesn't work anymore. You have handed your debit and credit card to people who are not smarter than you, and you just left them alone for a year. How did that work out for us last time?
And here's the thing. A lot of people hear the stories. I talk about how, some stupid lady said that you internalize the white supremacy and people call me a racist and whatever. And people are too afraid to tell the truth, to donate to campaigns, to be in a campaign, to do things because they hear about this stuff. But here's the thing. There are more of us than there are of them. And that is the truth. I talk to more people. They may not be as conservative as I am, but they know that this stuff is nonsense.
Yes.
Okay. There are more of us than there are of them. And so if everyone just had the courage and the strength of character to say what they really believe and say what is true, they would not have the bully pulpit like they do. They would not be able to get away with the things that they do. They count on your silence to behave in this way.
Yes,
And go
this
ahead.
stuff isn't reasonable. They can't debate you on this. This is dumb.
And I know it's hard. People don't want to lose friends. People don't want to lose jobs. People don't want to have their businesses harmed. And I get it. However, your inaction and your unwillingness to tell the truth hurts even more people's businesses. And they're going to come for you eventually.
Yep.
It does not matter how small you are. It does not matter how insignificant you are. How many people have we seen over the years who considered themselves liberal and woke and whatever, who said one thing out of line or did one little misstep and their lives were ruined?
Yep.
And they only can get away with that because of the overwhelming majority of us who just stay silent. So
good men doing nothing.
Silence is
good
violence.
men and women doing nothing.
Silence is violence. Can I use their words?
Sure.
Can I use their
Go for
slogans? I mean, it's not silence is not violence, but it really is. That's good men doing nothing. And so, sorry to be all, whatever. Ray, am I bringing books? That was a good little lecture for you guys to close the night. Am I bringing books home with you? I have some copies. We have some copies here in Texas and some copies in Vermont. We're going to bring some to the Libertarian Party celebration on Friday. If people want to get signed copies, go to the Texas Gold event. And then I'll have some in Vermont if people want signed copies. Or if you order one off of Amazon, I'll happily sign it for you.
Yep.
And Benjamin will too.
Absolutely. And if you can order one, order two, order something to give away. My plan is to put some of these in libraries if they'll let me, so that the children have an opportunity.
We should put them
read the absolute tomfoolery.
Yeah. Yeah. And it really is. Again, I'll just tell everybody again, look at the preview.
Yeah.
It is a joke book.
It's a joke book.
So if you don't read it, don't call me up mad that you got a joke book.
It's a gag book to get a conversation started. It's great to be on your coffee table or your living room table.
And that's why we only charge $9.99. It's perfect for like white elephants.
Or like if you're going to have people over like a gathering.
Yes.
Put that out. So
on the coffee table.
Someone has to talk about it. You want to have this. Especially people like you who are liberty minded.
Yes.
You want to have that to have that conversation.
And it's pretty. I mean, it really, you guys, this gal Sabrina Hinojosa is the graphic designer. I hope she doesn't mind me just saying her name. She worked with us. We had a vision for how we wanted it to look, and she really helped us make it beautiful.
Yes. And here's the thing. I want to stress this point. Some other person on Amazon has chosen to title his book the same as ours.
Rat bastard.
I believe he has a series of books, but they're super boring.
Yeah.
But they're
not fun.
They're
not
snarky.
pretty.
They're snarky titles or whatever. But the key is that's why we need you all share the commercial, but to go to Amazon.com and to leave a review for what. And here's the thing: we want you to leave the most ridiculous review. And if you're aware, have you seen like those the werewolf shirts at Walmart? And people were like, "Yeah, I bought this shirt, and I instantly got more attractive, and my strength went up three points or whatever." Leave the most nonsense pro-American review you can possibly leave.
Yep.
I'm just saying that's the review I want to read.
Share our commercial. We made a ridiculous, epic commercial. We'll close out with that one instead of the normal closing.
Yeah.
Share it with folks. Because we really are hoping to make a big difference this year. The $9.99, first of all, we only get like $2 of that, right?
Most of it goes to Amazon.
Most of it goes to Amazon. Okay. So when you buy it, we get like a couple bucks. We're not getting rich off of this, but really we're looking to try to fund this channel more, to fund political campaigns, to be able to take that money and help support other political candidates run for office, to be able to do their videography, and help with social media like we do for our stuff, to be able to share that and spread it. So
one of the most important things with the channel is getting the viewership and the numbers up. We're going to market and start doing some more advertising for things.
Yep.
because that allows us to create a voice for places like Vermont and Texas or whatever we're talking about.
Both places.
So we can bring in candidates who are liberty minded and and have a platform for them to come talk about real issues.
Because we're not getting platformed by the mainstream media.
When I ain't boosted, when I ain't shared, they don't want people to hear the things that we're saying. I'm surprised they didn't end this broadcast. After
oh my God, I know, right? Well, and here's the thing is I'm a great accountant and I've got a good business and, but I really want to be able to provide the space and the place for conservatives to spread the message and values of conservatism and like you said, get to highlight folks. So as a reminder, the next 2 weeks, the next 2 Sundays at 7, I'm going to have city council candidates for Burlington, Alex Stith and Christopher Aaron Felker. They're going to be coming on, sharing their candidacy, talking about that stuff. What else? What am I forgetting?
I don't know.
Oh my gosh, this was a long episode. Oh, you guys, another thing, if you haven't already, go to YouTube and subscribe to Generally Irritable. When I get to 1,000 subscribers, I can start monetizing and doing some more stuff with the channel to be able to build it. So go to YouTube and subscribe.
Yep.
Okay.
That's it for now.
All right, guys, hold on. We're going to go out with a commercial because it's so ridiculous and it makes me laugh every time. All right. Talk to you later, guys. Have a good night.
This book will give you wings.
What kind of wings?
Not like Icarus wings, like eagle's wings.
What about dragons?
You'll have dragon's blood. You'll be able to breathe fire.
Fire like the Ultra Eagle Dragon Gun.
This book will make you smarter.
Yes.
I'm not just talking honor roll smart. I'm talking Nikola Tesla smart. You'll be so good looking, Brad Pitt will be jealous.
Do you want to make money?
How much money?
Elon Musk money.
That's a lot of money.
People will think you're Elon Musk, but you're not Elon Musk. But they'll think you're
Elon Musk because you pay taxes like Elon Musk.
And you have to argue with Elizabeth Warren because she thinks you're Elon Musk. Do you want freedom?
How much freedom?
All the freedom. One to America. How much freedom do you want?
America.
Double America. Yeah.